Is your marketing budget going down whilst expectations of returns, whether that's leads or sales, are going up? You're not alone. Everybody at the moment is expecting to do more with less, and that's challenging. It's really difficult. And that's why I've pulled together these 10 low-cost tips for high-impact marketing for startups and scale-ups in 2025. Hi, I'm Richard Leader, and I'm a fractional CMO, marketing coach and marketing consultant. And I pulled these tips together, not really as tactical tips and campaign ideas, but it's about getting back to basics. And I think most companies have got to do that right now. Have a review and think about where you're headed over the course of the next year. I've developed this framework called the SOAP framework, which stands for strategy, organization, process, and execution. And what that enables me to do is to get under the skin of a business quickly, understand where the barriers to growth are, and enable growth quite rapidly. And these 10 tips are based around that SOAP framework. You can find the tips on my website. The link is down below. But let me quickly run through what they are. There's a lot more detail and a lot more information in the white paper that I've provided on there. But in terms of strategy, first up is getting aligned around strategy. You've got to understand where the business is heading. You've got to understand what the North Star metric is. Everybody in the business needs to know how they contribute to that. You'll discover that when you all pull together in different directions, you'll be wasting budget. When you pull together in the same direction, you'll be getting much more out of your budget, much more out of your effort, and you'll get further faster. 2, now this sounds pretty basic, right? But I see so many businesses get this wrong or don't get it quite right. It's know your customer. It's so important to know who your customer is. There's loads of information on my website about your ICP, your ideal customer profile, and how you build a profitable version of your ICP. But it's super, super important. When all your marketing is aligned to your ICP and not to these other disparate segments out there, then you'll get much more out of your budget throughout the course of the year. In terms of organization, first up is thinking about people and think differently about employment. You don't necessarily need to employ someone full-time to do every job in the business. And that means that you can actually do a lot more in the business if you think about using freelancers and you think about using fractional people with serious expertise that you can bring in for a short period over a few days a month or a few days a week. Think differently about employment. It's a really, really intense way of increasing productivity within the organization. 4, and this is about your technical setup, get set up with your marketing platforms. If your customer is the most important asset in your business, and they are, then your CRM, your customer relationship management platform, is the most important tool in your business, bar none. You've got to understand it. You've got to make sure you've got the right tools in place. You've got to make sure that you can use them and that you're maximizing your investment in your CRM platform. 5, and this is about process now, build repeatable processes. One-off is expensive. One-off takes time, effort, budget. You're much better off using that time, effort, and budget to build repeatable processes that you can repeat and learn from and work again throughout the course of the year. 6, build a content repurposing process. I've done a video on this before on YouTube, and there's information on fractionalcmo.uk about that as well. But your content repurposing process will enable you to make better use of the assets that you're producing. When it comes to execution, I would go, our next tip is number 7, and I would say stretch your budget with partnerships. You can do the whole B2B2B model or the B2B2C model. You don't have to go quite as far as that necessarily. You can just do joint marketing arrangements with people. But by stretching your budget, working with other businesses, sharing marketing budget, reaching their audience, them reaching your audience, you can work together to provide something better for your customer and a much cheaper route to market. 8, go exponential with referrals. Every business I've worked in that has a referral process has discovered that referred customers are more likely to refer their friends or colleagues. Referrals breed referrals, and if you get that process right, you can grow exponentially, and you can do it on a fairly limited budget as well. 9, now I couldn't do this without talking about AI, right? Make use of AI, but make careful use of AI. AI is not going to replace the marketing department in 2025 or for a few years yet. It is a really valuable tool, it is a really important tool, and it enables you to do more and to work more quickly if you make careful use of it. Don't let it hallucinate for you, don't let it produce rubbish. Be very careful about the prompts that you're using for Gen AI, but it is a super helpful tool for the marketeer out there. And finally, 10, review, review, review. When you've got a limited budget, you've got to pay ultra careful attention to the details, and you've got to learn from those details. So review everything, take the time to do it. It pays huge dividends in the end. You can download the whole lot and lots more information besides on 10 low-cost, high-impact tips for marketing in 2025 for your startup or scale-up from the link in the comments below. And you can get in touch on the website as well. I'm at fractionalcmo.uk. It'd be good to have a chat sometime.